Hey guys, how's it going? Yuri here. I'm just chilling in my basement, taking advantage of this new webcam. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm just cranking up the videos for you guys because I want to answer your questions. Obviously, I don't get enough time to answer all the questions I get on YouTube, so I apologize if I can't answer in person. But I do read your comments, I do read your questions, and I take kind of the conglomerates, the most popular ones, and I put them into a video, which I think will serve everyone. So today what I want to do is answer a question that is probably one of the most common questions I get asked, and that is, what are the best foods to eat to improve energy? Okay, so that's a very good question, very common question, and here is the answer. There is no single food that is going to overshadow or overpower your overall diets. Now, I'm not too sure if I put together a video on this before, but I want to talk about it because it's really important to understand. I want to give you an example of a typical person who follows a poor diet, right? It has a very Western diet, you know, the SAD diet as they call it. Lots of processed foods, lots of animal products, lots of grains, lots of sugars. Now, someone with that kind of diet, you know, they might be overweight, they're lethargic, you know, looking for some kind of quick fix solution. The typical thing that we see nowadays is, you know, and we're human beings, right? So we're looking for quick fix solutions. Is you know, look no further than your convenience store, and you'll see the most popular thing nowadays are energy drinks, right? Red Bulls, Monster, and it's just one energy drink coming out after the next. It's absolutely mind-boggling. So, you know, somebody who has an unhealthy diet is looking for a quick fix. They grab a Red Bull, and that Red Bull or energy drink boosts their energy for a short amount of time, you know, giving them, you know, a good surge of caffeine and some other herbal energy boosters in there, as well as some sugar. So, you know, we think that these energy drinks are helpful because they make us feel good for about an hour, and then what happens is we get this crash. And this happens typically with a lot of sugar products, anything that has high sugar, caffeine, coffee, stuff like that, where you're getting an increase, like a real big surge in energy. And the reason for that is twofold. First of all, you're getting a higher level of sugar in your blood, so your blood sugar is increased. And the second reason for that is because these are stimulants, okay? Sugar, caffeine, these are all stimulants that stimulate your adrenal glands to secrete epinephrine or adrenaline. So this adrenaline circulates through the body, you know, it kind of primes you up for, you know, fight or flight, right? That's part of the response. And what adrenaline does is part of its action is it'll actually mobilize energy source. It'll actually go to your cells, go to your muscle cells and liver and break down additional sugar or break down glycogen into sugar to be released into the blood for quick utilization. Okay, so that's fine if you're running away from a lion, right? But in everyday life, you're just sitting around watching TV, or you need a quick surge in energy to kind of be more productive. That's not a very healthy way of doing things, because what happens is that this high level of blood sugar elicits an insulin response. So insulin is a hormone secreted from your pancreas, which circulates in the blood, and it takes the sugar out of the blood and stores it into the muscle cells and fat cells as well as the liver. Okay, so high insulin levels. Insulin is a storage hormone, so insulin will store sugar in your cells, in your muscle cells, and your fat cells. So you don't want too much of this stuff circulating around. So that's one of the big problems, is that you get high levels of insulin, and high levels of insulin is related to, over time, insulin sensitivity, or reducing insulin sensitivity, so you can actually develop hypoglycemia and diabetes as a result of having too much insulin in your blood over time. The other thing is that high levels of insulin also lead to increased fat stores. So if you don't want to gain weight, that's not a good thing. The other problem from an energy perspective is that you get this crash. Okay, so after all that insulin's taken the sugar out of the blood, there's no more sugar, or there's very low sugar in the blood, which means that you kind of get that 3 p.m. crash. It's just like, wow, boom, you're just done. You need more energy, you need some kind of quick fix again, so you go out and you seek out these solutions once again, and that's the typical kind of cycle that occurs. So you go out, get some sugar, get a coffee, and this thing goes up and it goes down and goes up and goes down. That's typically the way most people go about improving their energy. Now, that's not a healthy way of doing things, as you probably know. The best possible way to improve your energy, and I'm talking about all day energy, I'm not talking about energy for an hour, is to remove these stimulants and focus on adding more natural foods into your body. When you do that, these foods are naturally high in energy. So if you look at an apple or a green leafy vegetable, they are naturally vibrating at higher energy levels than foods that are cooked, processed, and man-made. Okay? And that's because they're using direct sunlight energy to process and do all their stuff. So if we can ingest more of these foods into our body, we're getting a direct sun energy into our body, and that's a big, it's a big plus. The other thing is that these foods, typically, plant foods, fruits and vegetables, predominantly in the raw state, are also alkaline forming, and that's very important because what that means is in the body, when you're ingesting foods that are alkaline forming, you are essentially putting your blood into a state where it needs to be. Okay, your blood needs to be slightly alkaline, 7.35 to 7.45, which is just past neutral, okay, on the pH scale. So slightly alkaline. If your blood is acidic, okay, your red blood cells have a negative charge around them. If your blood is acidic, that charge dissipates and your red blood cells start to stick together because they're not repelling each other anymore. Okay, does that make sense? So if your blood's acidic, the red blood cells clump together. Why that's important? Your red blood cells carry oxygen. Okay, they're going to carry oxygen to your cells. If they clump together, they're not going to be able to move through your blood. It's kind of like driving in traffic. You're not going to go anywhere. Okay, so when your blood is acidic, that's what happens. When your blood is more alkaline, your red blood cells repel each other, which is what they want to do, and they're able to freely flow throughout your blood and distribute oxygen to the cells. Okay, that's the basic physiological premise for having more energy and producing energy in your body. Oxygen and sugar are required to go to the cells to go through cellular respiration to produce ATP. Okay, if that doesn't happen, we're not producing ATP and we feel lethargic and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so it all starts in your blood, and in order to kind of improve the health of your blood, you need to improve the health of your diet. So very simply, guys, the fastest way to do this: drink more water, okay, because most of us are dehydrated. That's the first thing. The second thing, the most important thing probably, is to eat more raw foods, okay? You don't have to become a raw foodist, but if you can eat more fruits and vegetables in the raw state, what that's going to do is it's going to increase the alkalinity coming into your body, improve the oxygenation, and that's going to make you feel a lot more alive. So that is the key. Let's go back to the top. Foods that improve energy, there are really not, I'm not going to give you one particular food that improves energy because it really doesn't exist, okay? There are certain foods that might, I don't know, make you feel good for a very short amount of time, but I personally don't believe that there's a specific food, not that I've come across, that'll boost your energy. And again, maybe cacao, right? But again, cacao contains small levels of caffeine. So there you go. It is a pseudo-stimulant. So again, focus on whole natural foods that are not stimulants, and they will naturally raise the vibrational energy in your body. And again, you'll feel it within a day. If you do this for a day, you feel the difference. And then that's how it goes. So hopefully this has helped you out. Hopefully that's answered the question and clarified this issue of foods that improve your energy. And again, guys, if you see any websites or see any kinds of like news reels that say top 5 foods to boost your energy, and then they just start listing nonsense like almonds and eggs and garbage like that, it's nonsense, okay? Because there's no specific one food, even if it contains more protein or whatever it is, it's not going to boost your energy more than your overall diet. Okay, so your overall diet is the most important factor in how much energy you experience on a day-to-day basis and how long that energy is sustained. All right, so thanks for the question, and I will see you in the next video.